Welcome back to the Daily Report, and it is time for the Insight. Once again, Dibal Linear on standby, that is in Karen, speaking to Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Dibal, the last story that we have just carried before we took a break was largely about the preparedness of IEBC, the by-elections, but as well, generally, what we expect come 2027. I'm sure that is one of the questions that you'd want to ask Daktari there, first of all, of whether he believes in the formation of the IEBC, but of course not to try and guide the conversation. Over to you as Kenyans are waiting to hear.
Okay, thanks. I did, Linda. Yes, that is a very critical question right now that we know the IEBC also are eagerly preparing for the by-elections in November. Will be a critical question, but also moving ahead, we shall be talking also about electoral reforms in this country, and are they really pinched for time, knowing that they were just sworn in the other day. But that is much, much later in the course of the conversation. But allow me just to say thank you so much to Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i for graciously consenting and electing to be part of this conversation on the Insight tonight. We really do appreciate.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Yes, you've been flying way off the radar recently, right? So everyone has been sort of on the campaign trail. I don't know what has been up your collective sleeves.
Well, first of all, as I say, thank you so much for the opportunity, and thanks for having me. I've been on a listening mission. Yes, the last several days, and I'll continue to be on a listening mission for several months before we begin very active campaign across the country. Because sometimes I think the way we transact in politics in this country, we think sometimes we know everything. Because, you know, we are leaders, or we are seeking to be leaders and looking for positions and so on. And we do very little to listen to the real people, you know, in their real circumstances and the contexts and so on. So I've been spending a lot of time talking to, you know, fellow Kenyans, my fellow teachers across the country, school principals, public servants. I mean, literally people from all walks of life, and you know, and I'll continue to do that. Some of it is public, some of it is, of course, necessarily private, as you engage with people, and most importantly, some of it is strategic. When you get people in their usual and comfort environment, they're able to speak to you candidly about, you know, their day-to-day life, how they feel about the country. Public servants, some of them for good reasons, you know, want to have very candid conversations with you, and I'm keen to have real detailed and, you know, candid conversations with people, and that's what I would like to do for the foreseeable future as I complete the development of my campaign platform, consult with other players in the political environment, and build a coalition with other political players. Because in Kenya, as you know, Dibal, since the advent of multi-party politics, there hasn't been a government that has been formed by a single party. President Kibaki came to power, you know, through NAC, a coalition of several political parties and groups of people. And they worked on this until almost, you know, 2 months before the general elections, because they completed the process on 14th of October and the elections were in December. It was 2 months to it. You know, when you come to 2013, again, President Kenyatta and TNA and, you know, William Ruto, URP coming together, you know, to the Jubilee Coalition. And then the Jubilee Coalition.